Lake Tia, a mysterious and legendary site. Lake Tia, a familiar name, is located deep within the Andes, now divided by the borders of Bolivia and Peru. It is not only the largest lake in South America, but also one of the most historically significant lakes on Earth. Over the years, numerous tales have surfaced involving submerged citadels, mountains of gold, old relics, and vast ancient ruins scattered across the lake bed. Stories tell of amateur archaeologists becoming incredibly wealthy from astonishing yet undisclosed discoveries hidden beneath the waves. "We found 2,000 objects and fragments," declared Christophe de, a Belgian archaeologist, during a ceremony in Lares. According to Christophe, divers from his team discovered these artifacts more than 7 meters underwater off the coast of the island of the Sun. Among them were 31 large golden relics, leading archaeologists to believe these findings are just the beginning of something much greater. As time goes on, claims made long ago appear more and more plausible. According to Colonel John Blashford Snell, a notorious explorer, his extensive research on the lake, the surrounding ancient culture, and their history suggests that the ancient city of Tiwanaku, located very close to the lake shores, copied their original building knowledge from the scientists of the mysterious and legendary lost city of Atlantis. Interestingly, ancient Incan legends support his conclusions, stating that the mythical founders of their magnificent empire once emerged from the lake's waters. The Incas considered the lake to be the center of the cosmos, and they mysteriously knew its exact shape, something modern humans have only been able to confirm through aerial views from high altitudes. Ancient Incan legends recount that after a great flood, the creator god Viracocha emerged from Lake Tia. It is said that he created, or more likely restored, the sun, moon, and stars. Viracocha was described as fair-skinned and bearded, bringing great culture to the ancient peoples of South America. The myth of Manco Capac. The 16th-century Spanish chronicler Pedro Sarmiento de Gamboa recorded in his Historia de los Incas a tale about Manco Capac, the first Inca. According to Inca mythology, the Incas are the direct descendants of a mythical first Inca named Manco Capac, who emerged from one of the 3 openings in the mountain Tambo Toco, located 33 kilometers south of Cusco, Peru. Manco Capac is said to have established Incan civilization through Viracocha, yet his actual existence remains unclear despite being mentioned in multiple chronicles. Could this original and possibly vast ancient culture still rest at the bottom of Lake Tia? Did something catastrophic happen in our distant past that transformed what was once a large, fertile valley, perhaps even the legendary lost city of Atlantis, into the lake we know today? Nan Madol, the mysterious city on the water. Our last video covered the astonishing ancient city found in Sri Lanka, built atop an enormous rock formation known as Lion's Rock, a testament to the ancients' capabilities and determination. Our next location is just as incredible, an ancient site known as Nan Madol, located in the middle of an ocean near the Mariana Trench. What makes Nan Madol so incredible is the fact that the entire city was once built upon the water. An entire series of artificial islands can now be seen forming fortified city limits. What's more, the entire location is constructed entirely from enormous blocks of basalt and coral using a unique set of sophisticated techniques not found anywhere else on Earth. The site's supposed original name was Es Nan Lang, or Reef of Heaven. According to J. Ashby in his book Paipi, An Island Argus, the ruined city is one of today's greatest archaeological enigmas. It is sometimes called Atlantis, the 8th wonder of the world, or even the Venice of the Pacific. According to academia, Nan Madol was the ceremonial and political seat of the Sauteleur dynasty, which united the islands of Pohnpei, an estimated 25,000 people, until as recently as 1628. Set apart between the main island of Pohnpei and Tan Island, it was a scene of human activity as early as the 1st or 2nd century AD, with its perplexing megalithic architecture beginning around 1200 AD. However, comprising almost 100 stone and coral-built platforms atop artificial islands, separated by narrow channels and enclosed by an outer seawall, Nan Madol is an engineering marvel, a truly mammoth undertaking. The mystery of Nan Madol. The enormity of the construction at such a distant time in history remains an unsolved enigma. There exist no records as to when, or most importantly, how Nan Madol was ever built. Additionally, there is no evidence of any quarries on any of the nearby islands or reefs surrounding the site. Where did these enormous rocks come from? How were they transported there? And how, or indeed why, was the site constructed on top of the reef? For a technologically primitive people, supposedly existing a mere 1,500 years ago, to have somehow created this entire artificial floating city, made from enormous pieces of coral and basalt, using techniques unknown prior to construction, yet successfully building structures that have lasted for millennia, seems a rather ridiculous and extremely unlikely premise. Additionally, the lack of evidence of a quarry anywhere nearby makes the whole complex even more perplexing. The total area of the enclosure is around 75 hectares, with walls as high as 15 meters and up to 5 meters thick. The average weight of each stone is 5 tons, with some weighing as much as 50 tons. The estimated total weight of columnar basalt making up the city's construction is around 750,000 metric tons. Nan Madol is undoubtedly an astonishing place. India's ancient architectural marvels. India, too, possesses an enormous array of incredible ancient architectural accomplishments, mind-boggling feats of engineering, many of which continue to mystify modern explorers and elude contemporary understanding. Exquisite details display prodigious artistic abilities and precision, while ancient stone carvings appear all but impossible. Yet they exist for all to see. In the past, we have explored many of these sites, comparing the similarities and tool marks found at other sites across the world. We have investigated the now-lost methods once used to carve entire temples from a single block of bedrock, as well as the many temples constructed from quarried stones possessing columns seemingly created on lathes. Yet many of these pieces weigh in excess of 6 tons. Just how these feats were accomplished remains a complete mystery, and our next architectural enigma is no exception. The Hanging Pillar of Lepakshi. According to mainstream academics, Virabhadra Temple was built by the brothers Varuna and Virapanna, who were governors under the Vijayanagara Empire during the reign of King Achyutadeva Raya in the 16th century. Located in the village of Lepakshi, a significant place in the great Indian epic Ramayana, legend has it that the bird Jitu, wounded by the king of Lanka, fell here after a fateful battle. When Lord Rama reached the spot, he saw the bird and compassionately said to him, "La," meaning arise, bird in Telugu. Although the temple is attributed to these brothers, just like many other incredible and inexplicable sites throughout the world, any explanation as to how they achieved this remarkable feat remains elusive. Additionally, there is one feature in particular that not only remains unexplained, but whose past purpose, or perhaps more importantly, how it was successfully created, remains unknown. Known as the Hanging Pillar of Lepakshi, this column initially appears to be a weight-bearing structure. However, upon closer inspection, one discovers that this column is, in fact, set aloft, somehow suspended, despite its significant weight being dispersed along the temple's roof. It is as if the builder of this temple created the column as a statement, a display of their incredible abilities and architectural skills. The column seemingly serves no function other than to showcase the capabilities of the temple's builder, as if they were simply showing off. Furthermore, along with its past purpose remaining elusive, just how the temple's inner structure actually supports the weight of the column is also unknown. How can one be expected to believe that a temple such as this, located among many of India's other astonishing ruins, displaying clear evidence of complex, advanced, and in-depth understandings of load-bearing architecture, was supposedly built by one of our well-studied ancestors a mere 500 years ago? How can one accept this as a logical explanation for its origins? The Hanging Pillar of Lepakshi is clearly an incredible work of ancient engineering, one that, although attributed to known ancestors, remains largely unexplained. It is a temple that we find highly compelling, unsolved architectural mysteries across the world. We have, in the past, covered numerous seemingly impossible feats of ancient engineering found throughout modern-day Japan. From polygonal stonework of gigantic proportions to ancient forts and temples, these sites continue to challenge our understanding of history. The mystery of ancient polygonal masonry, distinguished as having been constructed upon far older and now inexplicably mysterious masonry techniques. Many ancient sites remain an enigma. The most abundant of these techniques, which we have come to know as polygonal masonry, remains unexplained. Yet, due to the lack of explanations for how this was achieved, these sites are often dismissed and deliberately overlooked. The absence of any logical explanation as to how such sites came into being, or even how this stonework was once accomplished, means that not only are these sites suppressed from mainstream attention, but the seemingly impossible features still in existence are, instead of being exposed and admitted as unexplainable accomplishments, ignored. This prevents those with a critical capacity from pursuing their origins. We strongly believe that compelling proof exists of once advanced, now lost civilizations that flourished and often seemingly vanished suddenly from our planet. The suppression of this truth gives motive to academia, which attempts to cover up such realities. Regardless of the reasons behind this conspiracy, whether to avoid mass panic or not, we believe that this is not a valid excuse for suppression. In our opinion, no matter how the public reacts, we all deserve to be presented with the true reality of these ancient sites, and indeed, a true account of our history. The Ashino-Hoden megalith, a forgotten wonder. Tucked away within rural Japan is a megalith known as Ashino-Hoden. At first glance, this particular megalith appears to be floating in midair. The reason for this illusion is the civilization's abrupt departure, leaving the stone not completely liberated from the bedrock. It is still attached, clearly at the final stage of excavation, literally hanging by a thread. Due to the location of the excavation and the fact that the stone itself has protected its base from erosion, the megalith has remained attached to this small seam of rock for untold millennia. The defining reason we attribute this stone to a now-lost civilization is its sheer size. Measuring an impressive 5.7 by 6.4 by 7.2 meters, the stone weighs an estimated 500 tons, meaning the techniques or technology used to cut and transport it remain an unexplainable feat of ancient engineering. This enigma is largely dismissed by academics worldwide. However, these gigantic stones are a legacy that, due to their immense size, is likely to remain present on our planet far after our own civilization has come and gone. Ancient sites and the persistence of mystery. Additionally, just like many other sites in Japan that we have successfully identified as the work of a now-lost civilization, a temple was later built at the site. Although attributed to a civilization within permitted historical timelines, the megalith has been considered holy and venerated since ancient times. According to mainstream studies, which, although not publicized, were essentially forced upon academic institutions, scholars continue to attempt to appear transparent while actively avoiding the task of explaining not only who quarried the stone and when, but also how this ancient civilization intended to transport such massive stones to their final locations. The official version is predictably a claim that the rock was intended to be a tomb. However, as expected, there is no scientific information regarding who quarried the stone or what its eventual purpose was. Who cut the Ashino-Hoden megalith? How did ancient civilizations move such gigantic stones, sometimes thousands of miles? We find the Ashino-Hoden megalith highly compelling.